So, Sanchi, tell folks a little bit about Zime while he's getting you set up for the demo.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Sanchit, founder at Zime. And I think I'm the second last man standing before we all let you go. So let me dial it up. How many of you have kids? 2-year-old, 8-year-old, 15-year-old? Yeah, amazing. I have an 8-year-old. I asked him to get me a glass of water yesterday. Sometime he does. Sometime he says, Papa, you get it by yourself. Now, that behaviors are hard. It's hard to drive behaviors. Scale that in enterprises. We have thousands of GTM members, sales reps, so on. How do you ensure when the CRO says, let's sell this new product? How do you drive that consistent execution across all the team members? Well, you can't. That's a behavioral problem, not an engineering problem. You can throw all the AI, all the insights, and yet behaviors won't move, the outcomes won't move, and the board and the CRO are still wondering what the heck happened. We spent so much money on the AI. That's where we come in. We help drive consistent behaviors across your team. And my background is behavioral science. This is my third rodeo, not the first one. I have my computer science background, that's my left brain. And then the behavioral science background. I'm a licensed executive coach. So I joke, both part of my brain work. And I'm the best guy to drive these behaviors across the enterprise. But let me give you an idea about the complexity here. The insights are one thing, the execution is another. This is where I want to spend a minute to talk about the problem, because I'm sure you're all seeing in your enterprises that execution is hard. This is a real-world example of go-to-market complexity. I picked up Google Cloud website, and look at the number of products they have. They're all real products. All of them have different positioning, messaging, objection handling, competitive base. And now with AI, these sales guys are also selling the AI products like Gemini. How do you evolve and iterate this complex, volatile go-to-market across so many products, changing messaging, evolving competitors? You can't fit that into the head of hundreds of reps. That's where things fail. The marching orders fail. And that's where you can keep throwing more AI, but it stops at insights. You can ingest all the enterprise data, create insights, but then the rep decides what to do next. AI can't measure. What doesn't get measured doesn't get done. That's where you need to understand how do we drive execution at scale. You have to have an org sanity. Understand what are the marching orders given by CRO this quarter, which will be different from NORAM or APAC or EMEA and so on. And then provide that information right time and then measure it. What gets measured gets done. Marry it with accountability, leaderboards, gamifications. That's not an engineering problem, that's a behavioral science problem. Think of it as Google Maps. You're going from San Mateo to Palo Alto on a weekday traffic at 6 p.m. It tells you go left, go right. We have the same Google Maps, but for your go-to-market teams. We compress all the complexity of your organization, the marching orders from CRO, the product, different regions, all the past call data, and then compress them into new context, execution context. It's not a simple data that you have put in. It's a long-form org memory compressed into contextual actions. And then we deliver. We deliver in an execution system, but with a compliance, not just spray and pray of insights to the reps. That's where the magic happens. Now, it's so easy to put all this data and imagine that it would work. It doesn't. You see, when I work with companies like HP, they're selling a new AI PC last quarter. This quarter, they are selling more attached products like Poly. The entire marching order is different. This order is different for NORAM, North America, for APEC, EMEA, for channel partners, for direct sales. It's not in the past data. It's in the CRO's head. So how do you extract this strategy, extract the signals and the noises that makes this execution context actually work? That's the hard part to take long-form org memory and compress them into a CRO brain. We have been doing this for 2.5 years now, and that requires a lot of work in the backend. But then more importantly, you can't just have this system and let it run. You have to marry it with the execution compliance as a system. How do we change behaviors? Right time, right info. Don't leave it on the judgment at the last mile. And then measure it, verify it, put leaderboards, spiffs, accountability, and then deliver it in the flow of the work, like Google Maps does, right? All of that has to come together, and that's the execution system that drives behaviors. But once that happens, things are amazing. The same company, HP, they were selling a new product, AI PC, and imagine 8,000 sales reps who have never sold an AI product before. Now they've been asked to sell an AI PC. They had no idea how to handle objections, how to understand use cases, and so on. They did all the playbooks, all the trainings, all the AI. The behaviors did not change. But with Zime, they did. They could consistently see the right behaviors on the field, which leveled up their top line by 200K per rep. And now they're, of course, expanding us across the more product lines. And not just HP, we are seeing this across 15 enterprise clients, mid-market enterprise clients. And we are expanding with every client. They're all super fan of Zime, CRO at Versa Networks, Sonic Wall. They're all our customers. We had zero churn so far because execution drives outcomes. That closes the loop. And then that's where our thesis is that it's not just insights, but when you can control execution at the organization, that's the sticky factor. Chat agents have very less stickiness, but execution and adoption have a large stickiness. But once you do that, you can solve many use cases of driving behaviors across GTM, product, marketing, HR, and also at the agents level. That's Zime. If you are driving behaviors and execution at your company, talk to me. I'm here. We'd love to chat with you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.